I started training at CZW right before the first Tournament of Death. He told me about this company that was running in Sewell, New Jersey, called CZW. He said it's better than ECW, and I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. And even though looking back at it, and I've watched that show back on tapes now, I think that I was like, God, that show was so bad. But it was just like being there, and that experience of it was just like, you had that, this is where, like, hey, I want to be this guy, you know, and you see guys like Zandig, and you see guys like the wife beaters and all that stuff, and it was just like, wow, these guys are like, they're for fucking real. And they're like, you got to talk to Zandig, and like talking to John, and John's like the most intimidating person in the world, especially back then. From there, and then like one day John's like, well, we're gonna put you in the ring today. And it was kind of like, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're gonna tag with Dahmer, you're gonna wrestle Rebel and Greg. And I'm like, it was kind of like John would speak, and it was like God spoke to you, and you just sat there and listened. And when I came home, I walked in the middle of something I shouldn't have seen, and well, you know, I threw a guy through a 3-story window, assaulted 3 cops.
You walked into something?
First cop came up and tried to grab me, and I just went back, and I hit him right in the face. And the second one hit me with a nightstick, and I kind of grabbed the third shot and threw it over me. Might have mind you argued. I got charged with attempted murder in the third, 4 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, and the commission of committing a felony, aggressive menacing, terroristic threatening. It's like a whole long rap list. Like, don't get me wrong, like that dude was like, he was on top of the company then, but yo, you did something. I mean, fuck you, Chris, you're a cocksucker. You know what I'm saying? At the time is how I felt. I'll tell you right now, Quack is an amazing fucking trainer. Yo, he's smart as shit when he comes to wrestling. As a person, he's a piece of shit sometimes. But like, you know, he knows his shit, but he also knows his shit for his product. He didn't give a fuck about CZW. The matter is, Chikara was like a leech that used CZW, and a lot of companies have fucking done this. He used CZW to build Chikara. I know. I remember when I came in person and said, hey, I wanted to work. He's like, I don't really have anything for you, but I do have this idea for this character. And he has a metal hand. And his metal hand is like death. And I mean, I said, well, what do you mean it's like death? He's like, if he touches you with the hand, you will die, or you will, you know, it's like if I went like this, I would totally lay you out. And I was kind of like, at the time, I didn't really give a shit about anything. I just wanted to work shows. He cost me a lot of fucking money and a lot of fucking bookings to this day. You know, like there's a lot of work that I could have been doing. I had the right connection. You know, I was in with the Samoan family. You know, I work for them. I still work for them. You know, for fucking almost 15 years now. And when Nick Gage comes, that was fucking great, and he's fucking going crazy. And John very ever rarely came down. And was like, shit was good. You know, he standed on his peak up at the Crow's Nest, except for when he was wrestling, and he came down and like sat down with both of us, like that was exactly what it needed to be, and like, and you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, like, damn right, and you're like, you're relishing in the moment. That was probably the most political match at that time in CZW.
Politics behind.
The second match on the show, John came to me and said, make sure that lariat's as stiff as you can throw it. Because he really hated Hero right there. Cool. I'm the CZW Iron Man champion, and in the independents that held a lot of weight.
Did you?
All right, and when you're fucking around with both of them, I put him through a wall, and we had that epic, like that Rock Hogan or that the two kind of iconic where we're looking around going, and I'm just like, I'm going milk it, buddy. Just like, we're never gonna have this again. All right. So we get up there, and he keeps, DJ, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm so scared. I'm this. Whatever. And then we're kind of having a conversation back and forth. You know what I'm saying? With me and John. As I'm on the roof in the middle of the fucking match with Andy Sumner. And John goes, be the vet. Shit ever. I don't do jobs. I don't do bumps. I don't do this. I don't call matches. Dude, we came there. Moxley was passed out in a bear suit with whiskers and a nose drawn on him.
Tail?
He had a little, like one of those little fuzzy kind of tails. All right. I let him stick syringes in my arms. I let him put them in my head. I put them in his mouth. We did fire. TJ literally, if you watch this show, TJ was on fire. I powerbombed him through a flaming pane of glass. We did cinder blocks. We did tubes. We did a lot of crazy fucking shit. Literally, when I said, who do you want your last match to be? And he goes, well, I want it to be against you. So Proving Grounds, me and him went out there one more time, and John made a joke saying, someday you're going to be a good promoter. And John said to me, he goes, I could sell it to you, or I could sell it to some mark and probably get a lot out of it. He goes, but I know you'll do right by CZW. And John didn't want it known. John wanted to do it his way. He wanted to do it on the show. He wanted to do it in front of the boys. And I was kind of against that at first. And, you know, he went out and wanted to say his goodbyes and his way, you know. And it has the amount of money that I paid him in it. And literally what I paid him was in that contract. I did not shortchange him one bit. And Maven can validate that because Maven was a huge part of this. So, I mean, if that's what John's saying, every fucking single guy who was a top guy there, for the most part, at one point came from CZW, okay? I was in way over my head. I made 2 phone calls. First phone call, Gabe Sapolsky. And, okay, when I took over, I didn't expect so much as, like, they're just going to respect me and line up like they did for John. I expected that these are my friends, these are my family, I'm going to go to them, and they're going to respond and give me good feedback. And then it turned into everybody was out for themselves. Their business with CZW, John made it so bad, and it's very well documented that it was bad.
Oh, definitely.
And
for years, obviously.
And I reached out to them, and they were like, CZW bad. And then he said, no, this is DJ Hyde. Masada was the guy who, like, he put it over to them to even open the talk. They took his word to open the talk. You're my brother. I love you more than anything. And you can watch this now. But, yo, you were the one person who would say people need to act like a man. Pick up the fucking phone, all right? You should have that relationship with me. Act like a fucking man, all right? And call me. Dude, Matt, when he got his test result back, I think it was in Japan. Yeah, I was in Japan at the time. And he got it back and Facebooked me and was like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, I'm going to take another one. He's like, it says it's false. I just want to make sure that it's not fucked up. But he took a second one, too. And it came back that. Now, what it was is it wasn't that he was positive. It was called a false positive. I put you guys in there with them, and I've never seen Tommy mad at a match. I've never seen him come to the back and throw anything. And he was mad, and the match was bad. Like, it was not there. And, like, I'm throwing shit in the back. I'm livid, all right? I come downstairs, and literally, I go to Masada, and I go to Brain Damage, and I go, what the fuck? And, like, I don't know what was up with Marvin, but he was laughing, and I was like, do you really think that was funny? What the fuck were you guys doing? He's like, yeah, it was fucking hilarious. I was like, you want to know what's fucking hilarious? You're fucking fired. And Marvin snapped, and then the ultimate, like, yo, me and Marvin were getting ready to throw. Dare you do that? Bro, you didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. Same reason Quack didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. None of you guys did. You didn't bother to pick up the phone and call me. No offense, guys that work for Chikar were all in on it. They knew what was going on. Brett knew what was going on because Brett knew what I was going to do. A lot of people did. Do business. Right? Whether you like me or not, I do business. Quack and me don't exactly get along. Neither do me and Mike Burns. I do business with him. All right? I do business for the common good. If you don't like me, you're supposed to be my boy. Fucking come and hammer it out with me. Don't fucking blow up on me and fucking, especially in Dreamer's locker room. Yo, shake my hand. You need me because if I wasn't fucking here and CZW wasn't fucking here, you wouldn't have had a place to work. No, we were kept out on purpose. It's not that we were invited. We're not invited. Right. We were specifically kept out on purpose. Roger was well involved with National Pro Wrestling Day and told Quack that he should include me. And then Roger sent me an email stating it. And then Quack said, he said, you and DJ just need to have a meeting. And I believe, as the email stated from Quack, I would rather take a shit on his chest. Quote. The idea was to be the rebel company, all right? And to be honest with you, the people that came up with this, some of them were involved. One of them's involved in Chikar, all right? And Tommy Dreamer actually helped me come up with this. And what we were going to do was, do you know what he did? And you know some of the issues that I have? He went and booked 2 guys to be CZW and then called me the fucking day before and gave me an ultimatum. That you could be a part of this and do what's good for the business, and I know what you're going to do, and if you come in here, I'm going to have you arrested, and blah. You're done. That's all it is. Not personal, it's business, but I mean, come on, dude. Like, we're friends. Call me, man. Have I not worked with you? Have I not? And when he sees somebody else doing something, he's like, yo, I've been in the business fucking 12 years, just as long as you, and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, fucking, like, Lauderdale ain't helping the fuck out. Why the fuck do I gotta help out? Well, I saw you, so I picked on you, and you're a locker room leader. You're supposed to be the guy who represents. And I remember saying that. And he told me to go fuck myself. And you know what? I'm the boss. Well, guess what? I don't need you. I don't need, dude, there's a million guys that want your spot. You know what I'm saying? Yo, don't pitch me this National Pro Wrestling Day bullshit and tell me about the good of fucking wrestling and then you go and try and fuck people over. All right? Don't be a dick about it. Like, by the way, I know for a fact you bury me. Your inside fucking jokes in your locker room, okay? In your own fucking locker room where your guys are snickering. You don't think everybody tells me every fucking thing? I'm the owner of CZW. I hear every goddamn rumor there is. Okay. To be honest, I do think that we should have commented. I think that we probably should have took a little more time, and it was a learning experience. It's not something you go into prepared for. It's something that's like they came and knocked on my door, and I'm like, fuck it, like I gotta say something because if you say no comment, I look like a fucking tool.
Well, when they.
And he has a better relationship with them because he is now one of them, and he's not really around me and him have conversations now where I tell him, you don't love me anymore. And he's like, I still love you. And I'm like, you don't even call me. You promised me you wouldn't take other bookings at CZW, and he does. I didn't trust him. I still think he's fucking done some malicious things. And I mean, that's the point of it. I don't think he's always done right by CZW. Literally when he was booking, okay, my mindset and his mindset, and Brett can vouch for this, he would come in and be like, no psychology needed. Do your crazy shit and bleed. Fact. Pretty much because she's an alcoholic. And, well, I'm pretty sure guys like John Moxley have fucked her. So, future, I mean, basically, I want to be the buffet table of professional wrestling. I want to give fans everything. I mean, if you look at what the current product is, we're kind of delivering that now. You have great death matches. You know, you have hot women that can wrestle. And you have guys like A.R. Fox and you know, Shane Strickland's and stuff that are the best high flyers in the world. You have guys that are some of the best, most technical guys. You have great storylines, great talkers. Greg Excellence, funny comedy-wise. You have second to none, probably most underrated talent in wrestling right now. You know, and you have the future guys. You know, the guys, the Shane Hollisters and the David Starrs and Andrew Everett's, and there's a ton of those guys that are going to be the future stars. You get it all, you know, in CZW.